Hi, front runners and fellow Earth warriors. I'm Karen, and welcome to day 5 of my 30 days of intention. I went over my first 4 videos and I've made some notes of I want to recap a little bit the things that I talked about. Because on each day, as I sit down to record my video for the next day, I'm not sure what I'm going to say. And in my morning prayers, whatever you want to call them, meditation, I ask to be guided, I ask to be given the information, and then I just present what is given, what comes to me. So I just kind of want to recap a little bit the things that we've talked about, which is not necessarily earth-shattering, may not be new to everybody or to anybody, but the fact is, this is the basis of who we are and how we're moving forward or not. So I'm not going to go in order, but who we are and how we identify with who we are 2 different things. Who we are is an energetic being. And I mentioned, like in the movie, I'm pretty sure it was Independence Day, where they popped that alien open and his body turned out to be a shell. He was like a nervous system inside. Who we are is the nervous system inside, but who we identify as is the habit of thought and behavior and action that we have lived in our life experience. So part of our call to action, connecting with our breath, the very first thing, and knowing that when you breathe, consciously connect to your higher self and all that is, helps you kind of step outside the habit of who you are and recognize that it's like being an actor in this physical body, and you can actually control and move that actor. So connecting with the breath and recognizing that the actions and behaviors are not who we are. As we start to become the observer, as many people, Lori Ladd, many people talk about stepping outside yourself, being the observer. I think Mike Dooley might mention that. We start to separate ourselves from our actions, and then we can start to shift how we identify as who we are. I mentioned briefly during the week that different people have different life paths, and I'll go into those sometime later. But many people don't recognize that some people really have more challenges than others. People tend to think it's their fault, it's their choices, and it is. We do make choices, and we have the opportunities to make different choices. But we also have different experiences in our early youth that take us on different paths. We have different blueprints. We have different numerology. We have different astrology. If you have a strong Saturn like I do, and Saturn doesn't like the path you're taking, he will continually let you know. But until you recognize astrology, I said I'll talk about this later, you don't know that you're trying to be pushed on a path. You just know that things aren't working until you become conscious of recognizing that you're an energetic being and that you can pave a new path. But when you're in a situation that so many people are, and especially now, as I say, difficult times, astrology, we're leading a shift of humanity, sometimes people are broken and don't have a reason why. Some people have kids, and a strong reason why they want to be there for their kids no matter how they feel. They don't want to hurt their children. Some people, I don't know, whatever, have situations set up where they don't want to let others down and they can push through. Some people don't know where to find that strength, that reason to move forward. And as I mentioned, my two reasons that I can give to anybody is because as long as we're on the planet, it might be a little better if we pave our direction. And we are conscious beings on an evolution. And if we don't learn the lesson in this lifetime, chances are we will have to repeat these same struggles in a future time to learn the lessons. I want to get over that hump this time. I don't want to have to repeat these lessons again, really. So when we've recognized and accepted our consciousness and who we are and separated a little bit to know that we are here and that this body is moving forward, and we recognize that our focus and our emotion and our intention can pave our path ahead of us, we have a reason to move forward to be our best selves and to have a happier every day, every minute now than we've had maybe in our past. Then it's time for us to start, as Napoleon Hill says, weeding the garden of our thoughts and planting the seeds of the feelings and emotions that we want to grow and have come back in our experience in life. As Joe Dispenza says, it is the time for us to break the habit of who we are and become a conscious being and walk together with our all we are in our consciousness, hand in hand, creating what's coming in front of us. Let's pull a couple cards. All right. Hanson Roberts. August 6th. Temperance on the bottom of the deck. Did we get temperance on the bottom of the deck yesterday? I think so. It's a time of patience and alchemy. Temperance is the card of alchemy. I'm trying to see if you can see that or not, of course. She's got so much creation coming from her imagination that it looks like it's shining on the card, but it's truly her creating through thought, causing the alchemy of the liquid from one cup to the other. It's everything we talked about all week. The Eight of Cups. We haven't had a lot of cards of leaving things behind. I surely see that big full moon. We are in between two full moons in Aquarius, coming up to the new moon. And there are things to be left behind as we step into the creation. I dropped a card, excuse me. As we step into the creation. Oh, fascinating. So the card that fell is the Six of Swords. The Eight of Cups and the Six of Swords are two cards of leaving difficult situations behind. In the first card, in the Eight of Cups, that person is walking away from a life that he set up, from something that he had counted on. He put all those cups together and he expected to stay where he was. But this shows, surely in the time of the moon, shows some emotional baggage possibly that needs to be left behind. Now, for any of us, this could be something legitimate or something solid in our life. The Six of Swords is the card of moving to calmer seas. Swords are our thoughts. It is letting go the thoughts of things that are holding us in the turbulence. But together, they look like a real card of movement. They look like a card of a new job, of a new home, of a new relationship. Not necessarily starting now, but leaving something behind that is creating the room for something new to come. So for each one of us, that's going to be something different. But it's our thoughts holding our emotions. So something that we are emotionally tied to and just don't want to let go. But chances are, I know we pulled the Lover's card one day this week. Chances are we have the Two of Swords. It is time for us to take off the blindfold and see a path in front of us that is going to take us to a more fulfilled, and I don't like to use the word successful life, because what is success in life, as Tony Robbins says, success is momentum. Success is never in achieving a goal, because the minute we get to a goal, we want something new. Within minutes, that new car is old. That new place has mold. It rhymed, sorry. So definitely, it's definitely for moving forward. The Star of Hope. Look at her reaching out, looking up at the star, gazing with her dreams in mind, seeing her future ahead of her. One foot in the water, 1 foot on the earth. We can't see that in this card. Pouring the deep emotional water through her hands. Allow yourself to find the depths of the feelings that you want to have in your future. When you think you want a new relationship, you want a new home, you want a new job, you want more money, what is the actual result that you are looking for? I want a house right out here, looking out at that beautiful blue sky with those stars out at the water. I want a light and windows. What is it that you want from the success that you achieve? Put that out to the stars.